What's up, everyone? Studfit here, another episode of The Rundown. I was trying to find a way to describe this tour and everything that we're experiencing right now. There's no better way, in my opinion, than to describe this as the most mailed-in tour ever. There's a term back in the day when there were newscasters and there was breaking news, you'd see it immediately. For that less breaking news, they'd mail it in. And so you here in America, it's a pretty common term where you describe somebody who, like an actor, they mailed it in on that performance. And I mean, Nintendo mailed it in here. They had no urgency. They could care less, it seems, in how they organized this tour. But you know what? I'm in the camp of it's okay with me. I'm okay with this tour, and I'll tell you why. I'll jump into the reasons here in a second. First, as always, I like to describe why the rundown exists. Essentially, I was looking for things every tour that came out and wanted to understand, what got buffed and updates in the meta level game strategy. And essentially, I was putting this together for myself, and I started releasing it to a small group of people, and those small group have grown to medium-sized groups of people, and now we're pretty close to 1,000 viewers. And I just want to thank you all for all your support. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I know we have close to 2,000 people watching every episode, and maybe they're watching twice, but we're just on the fringe of outside of 1,000. I have a very special recording, a very special episode called All Cup Ranking Tutorial. I already have interviewed Comtrue's, Gamer Amy, and Carlos 85, as well as also Bam from Bam and Gerb's spreadsheet. And I have all these interviews waiting to go, and I've put it into 2 segments. I've actually wanted to give Bam his own segment for those who are interested in learning about his spreadsheet and giving him a spotlight there. But I'm ready to release this. I'm going to be releasing it when we hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. That's all. I'll mention it for now. Feel free to like it as well. The more people we get this in front of, the better it'll grow. And we'll be able to unite it as a community at a time where we need it most. That's right. This is a very depressing tour for a lot of people. It's one that we had high expectations, and even the lowest of bars were pretty low, and not even they were surpassed. I will say just about this community is we talk to each other so often. There's so many conversations between people saying, oh, I wonder if they did this. I wonder if they did that. Next thing we know, we've got this built-up anticipation for something that we have no idea if it exists or not. A good example would be there in the spotlight, and we were thinking, everyone's in the spotlight. This is going to be amazing. And then when they weren't, and it was just one spotlight, we missed the point that we had one Coinbox spotlight and a 50 pipe, a new one. And that's phenomenal. That alone should be, in and of itself, amazing. But I think we just had built up so high anticipation. So that's just one example. This one, I think some of us were just hoping for that white albino DK, just any DK alt, to be honest with you. And so to get no alt, I think that was a deep blow, especially for those Kong fans. Marco, Kevin Garrett. I know how you guys feel. I've watched Kevin's video. Definitely check out Kevin's channel, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. For myself and what I'm looking at in a tour, I think this is a pretty decent tour, and I'll tell you why. For one, I don't really pull on week 1 pipes very often. I think they're usually overpriced in value. For 450 rubies to get a new driver, for me, it's not that captivating. So let's go ahead and jump right there. We'll jump right into the week 1 pipe and take it from there. Now, this pipe actually, from Tabor's algorithm, it's actually the number 3 pipe in the game of all time. Partly the reason being is that there are 11% high-end odds, which is really, really good. And there are some items that have pretty strong rarity or skills, etc. And really, nothing really stand out. There's no Coinbox driver. There is a Kart with Mini Turbo Plus, which is always really coveted. But there's nothing really standing out here. Great odds in general. The one downside is, with Funky and Dry Bowser in 100 pipes, if you already have him at level 6, it's just a matter of time before you get him to level 7. Why not rush it? That's my opinion, and that's why I'm not pulling on this pipe. But overall, it's not a bad pipe. It's got some really cool items. In fact, I think these 2 new carts are actually two of the coolest carts I've seen in quite a while. So let's describe those a little bit. Ramby Runner, and probably the coolest cart we've ever seen in the game. It could be a tilt of the hand that's an albino DK, a white DK. For those of you who might have played Smash Brothers or familiar with the pictures online of this white DK, it could be tipping of the hand that he might be coming out eventually. Or not. I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm not going to try to read any tea leaves when it comes to those subliminal messages from Nintendo. But it looks awesome. Can't take that away. Mini Turbo Plus. It's got some pretty cool tracks already. They look like mostly snow tracks. Vanilla Lake as an example. Dino Jungle. Some of the new summits, etc. But overall, I think that's probably the one that I'm drawn to the most. But it is kind of odd that they haven't really done much with the original Ramby Runner or Ramby Rider, whatever it was called. I mean, to be honest with you, it's so far beyond in the past that I totally even forget all about it, let alone what its name is. And then the Inferno Flyer. That's an awesome looking cart. It's got some pretty decent tracks. Really, all the new items have good, decent coverage. The thing is it doesn't get a new track. With no new track this tour, and that's probably the only downside I see to this tour, is that there's no new track to get used to have fun with, to grind the EXP. Now, I'm not much of a grinder when it comes to that. I wish I was. I wish I had the time to do that. I just don't, between all cup ranking and ranked and everything. I don't get into that much, but I just love spending time on a new course. Day 3 or so on it, I'm just like, oh, it's not as new, it's not as fun, it's not as exciting. So to me, it's not like the end of the world, but that is one thing that I like. Now, all of these new items get existing tracks, which kind of does take away a little bit of that ambiance, especially getting, a lot of the T tracks and regular tracks. But thinking forward into new tours, they could get buffed in that type of way, which would be positive. I will say, Black toe bean balloons. That's just it's another mailed in piece that Nintendo put together. Basically, just turning the outsides a darker color. Man, they could have done so much with that. I don't know. I even would have been nice to just kind of get something else that's. They can reskin just about anything, but this just seems just so weak. And then we have another 8-bit. We've gotten now. Jumping Marios and Fire Flowers. Are we really gonna take everything to 8-bit, and that's just gonna be our new way to provide something cool and innovative? I think that's a little mailed in. This 8-bit bullet bill though, I kind of like it. It kind of looks cool. So again, I'm kind of putting kind of speaking out both sides of my mouth here, but. It is a cool looking glider, and I'm excited, especially for some of those tracks it has. It is pretty cool. Now, when it comes to the permanent pipe and what's new here, some little changes here. So Nabbit, Penguin Luigi, and Dixie Kong in the 100 pipes permanently. That's right, Nabbit is permanently in this pipe. That is amazing. I mean, it's not amazing if you put like 900 rubies to try to get him. Just 2 tours ago, and then had a banner, and then spent on that banner, and then now here he is, just as frequently as Dry Bowser. So, for what it's worth, he's there, and he's definitely a great driver. There's no doubt about that. But you probably paid a premium to get him one of these last few tours, and now he is coming at a discount. And then I'm not even going to get to next week's spotlights. That's probably. I'm just going to wait. No new changes with the carts, and no new changes with the gliders. You obviously have next week's spotlights. This is the most mailed in everything I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, there was no effort whatsoever here. To me, this is the one knock I have. Hey, if they don't give me a DK out, I'm cool with that. That's perfectly fine. But to just give another pipe of these items, to me, this just is so uninnovative. It just seems just like somebody just said, let's just give them something we gave them literally 2 months ago. This blows my mind. Now there's one new item, but I mean, most of these items can be found in 100 pipes, and I'm just to me this just is probably the weakest thing of the entire tour. So I'm not even going to talk about it. Looks like it's going to be 6 spotlights, so the 9 high ends, whatever. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not even going to waste my time. Now, for me, as I mentioned, the 2 reasons I really like a specific tour or not, one is the special pipe, and 2 are the tracks for All Cup ranking and how fun they are, how grindable they are, because I'm spending most of my time grinding those tracks, so I want them to be fun. For the special pipes, I have to give this a B plus, maybe an A minus. I think probably B plus is the right grade for this. The reason I'm giving it a good grade is when you think about drivers compared to karts and gliders. And I think this is a really important point, regardless of this pipe. And I have to give credit to Kevin Garrett. Actually, he did a really good point. In his tier shop, he always buys the driver ticket, the inflated price, $15,000 or 15,000 coin driver ticket, and does not buy the inflated price of the karts or gliders. And the reason being is that a driver, in the way of points and what it brings to your score, is equal to 2 karts or 2 gliders. If you think about it, like base points wise, 400 and 400, and then you have 800 for this high end driver. And then when you have these base points, 700 and 1400. So if you think about it, a driver is worth 2 karts or worth 2 gliders. So in a way, if you think about for this 50 pipe, if it does have 3 high ends, which I'm just, again, I'm never going to think it's 4 high ends. If they do that, I think that might change a couple people's minds of this tour. I'm not going to get my hopes up. You shouldn't either. You should expect 3 high ends, 3 high end drivers in this card. I'm not sure what the other items are going to be, if they're going to be normal and super drivers as well. That would be nice, and that would improve the coins per ruby. But for either one of these pipes, really, ultimately you have to think about it as, let's say this would be a 50 pipe with, say, 6 karts. That's a really valuable, very valuable pipe there. So you almost kind of want to think about things that way. And I know I have basically a Gold Pass only account, and I passed on a lot of these special pipes that just had karts and gliders. I'm probably going to be pulling on one of these, and I'll be happy to get one of these drivers just to get the frenzies. And I don't have a lot of coverage when it comes to those frenzies, so this is great. Now the thing about it is there are no coin box drivers here. So if you were looking for a coin box driver, they're not there. In fact, really, I mean, there's a lucky 7 in each pipe. Well, I'm sorry, there is Party Time Pauline, the weakest coin box driver. So forgettable, I even forgot about it in describing how undescribable it is. So from that standpoint, nothing too exciting here. I mean, it'd be nice to get Party Time Pauline, but I literally think she has one track that is not being covered by a better driver. So I haven't even capped her once. So nothing I would write home about, nothing to get excited about. In fact, I'm not even sure which pipe I'm going to pull on. I try to kind of provide things a little bit easier here. Kudos to Marco. But if you think about these 2 pipes and what's going to happen here, I'm not sure. It could be staggered. We could see one pipe released, and again, I'm recording this on Thursday after the tour was released. This could, we could have one pipe, maybe the Bowser pipe, released tomorrow, and you could be watching this and being like, yeah, Studfit, you missed this. Perfectly fine. I have no problem. Really, I'd rather provide you this information a little bit early and maybe miss a prediction than not provide it to you in a timely manner. So, and I think you would like the same. So at least that's what I'm believing. It could be staggered, so we could have one that starts like Friday to next Wednesday, and then one start from like Sunday to maybe Friday, kind of typical how a special pipe normally would. Or we could have them both released on Sunday. I think the former. I think it's going to be staggered. I think we're looking at more of a Friday to Wednesday, and then Sunday to Friday type of thing. That's my guess. But I don't even know which one I prefer more. I mean, honestly, looking at them, it might be, I might give a slight edge to this Team Bowser, and the reason being King Bubom, Peach Wedding, of course, my man, Party Team Lakitu Party Time, or Party Time Lakitu, whatever you want to call it. He's obviously my favorite driver. I love him. I do have him at level 7 though, so that kind of hurts him. But I also have some of these other drivers at level 7 as well. So, I mean, ultimately, I mean, my if I get like Party Time Toad, or if I get Peach or Shy Guy Chef, I'm just, dude. That's the part that puts me in the B's. That's why this is not an A. There are some coveted items, and I kind of put these out here. You got Peach Wedding, Lakitu Party Time, King Bob-omb, you got Chef Mario, Penguin Luigi. These are the top 10 items that are in these two pipes. But other than that, I hate to be blunt, but they're garbage. I mean, some of these are absolute garbage. Waluigi, Bus Driver, King Boo's Luigi Mansion. These Toadette Cap, no. Like, this is, even Peach, or this Daisy Fairy. This is kind of sad, but I'm trying to turn this optimistic, right? So you have, think about it, six carts, 6 gliders worth of value. So think about it that way. Think about these drivers are what you want in the game. Coverage is coverage. Get yourself some coverage. That would be my recommendation. Or pull on the week 1 pipe. That's actually not a bad pipe. Week 2 is not my cup of tea. So we have packs and packs on packs. Just too many packs, to be honest with you. So I'm going to try to go through these kind of quickly. But with 8, it's kind of tough. So you know how I feel about this guy. This is 8-bit. The fact that he's 8-bit is kind of unoriginal. But he looks freaking awesome. And being a guy in the 90s, I think he's a stud. Definitely a stud there. One of the most mockable carts of all time, this Kart, definitely a dud. Unless they buff it, it doesn't have any tracks. We're getting new snow items. This Rombi Runner seems to have like ice tracks. And that's basically the only value this Kart has. Definitely a dud for me. Probably my favorite pack of all of these is this King Bob-omb with the Dark Buggy. This is an absolute stud pack. If you only get 1 pack, this is the pack I highly, highly, highly recommend. Definitely worth it. I have a hard time describing this pack because there's part of it I like, and I owe you an apology. So I think it was a couple tours ago. I was going through duds and studs, and I think we had like Gilded King, and we had all these monster items in these packs. And in one of the packs also was the cheap masks. And I called it a dud, I think, just because it was paired with a lame driver. But I mean, I really do like the cheap mask. In fact, I have a double uncapped level 7. I've been using it a lot more than I thought I would, including obviously in ranked last tour. So I just want to make sure you guys know I'm actually a fan of the cheap mask. It hasn't broken the top 10, but I'm a big fan. In fact, a lot of the water tracks I've been using it pretty exclusively. The one thing is it does have a lot of overlap with some super gliders, but I mean, for me, I'm definitely going to be using high end if at all possible. So I just want to make sure you know cheap masks a stud. The EC Fairy. Weak Sauce Fairy, I'm not a fan of her. She is definitely a dud. And then from that perspective, when you want a driver to come with a solid glider, it's just not there. In fact, I'd prefer next week's, but even that's not. I'm not a big fan of that as much either. So the heart balloons, silver and gold heart balloons. It's actually a pretty stud pack. I like the look of it. It's got great usage. Got great coverage. I'm definitely going to be getting this pack. This is an awesome pack. If I had to pick one, though, I'd probably put that one at number 3 on the list. Only behind King Bob-omb and then this one, the Pink Wing. What an awesome card. If you probably pulled it a couple times in the pipe. So if you pulled it already, you already have it. This may not be the pack for you. But it's an awesome card that I've been using a lot since I've gotten it. So from that perspective, just, if you don't have it, maybe worth getting, but most likely you do. Or the least people I'm talking to that might be getting packs, you probably already have it. So this one I debated. Unfortunately, it's just a dud, man. Dixie, not only did she not get any new tracks, but the track that she was used the most between the Maple Treeways, they gave a coin box driver on. So it kind of really hits home, though, my point of that I've been talking all along. If your driver does not have coin box or maybe even Boomerang or Lucky 7, it's just a matter of time before they lose their value. I'm even worried about someone like, Wedding Peach. All of a sudden one day, 2 or 3 of her tracks could just get taken away due to a new Coinbox driver or a new driver that had a track. So from that perspective, though, it's a matter of time before some of these drivers get their value taken away. And unfortunately for Dixie, it comes at a price. I like the triple mushrooms or triple bananas. I wish I was using them. I like her. I love Dixie. I mean, I'm a big Kong fan in that I played a lot of the Donkey Kong series, so it's kind of sad. And the Platinum Taxi, man, it already seen its day. It's had its fun. To me, it's kind of the 2020 glider that's so last year. But that's why I can't give everybody a stud pack. Unfortunately, that's a dud pack. This last one, this one I had a hard time with too. The Prism, I'm going to get probably one of these packs. This Prism Wings is actually an awesome glider. It looks great. I have it in my Gold Pass account. I somehow pulled it out for a freebie. And I think I have a level 3 or level 4 because it's been available. So I like that glider. I don't love it. That's why I don't even have it as a half dud. And then Peach Wintertime. Oh, man. I'm not even going to talk about it. I mean, you haven't seen her in a long time. All right, so this is fun, guys. Look at this. So this is probably, I think talking about the data mining is one of my favorite parts of this episode. Any of the episodes, really. So we found out through doing some data mining. Kudos to all those data miners out there. You guys do such an awesome job. But we might have a future tour in Bangkok. So some of the new scripts that are there in the game, Rock Volcano. So you see some of these, but one of the ones I point out. Car Tuk Tuk Long. So I guess there are 2 different tuk tuks. And so what is a tuk tuk? I googled and found out tuk tuk's actually a vehicle driven predominantly in Bangkok. And you've probably seen them before in some of those videos with these crazy rides where everyone's just barely missing each other. But it's just a very thin car. My guess is that, with a long and also a normal size, maybe they're coming at you, similar to other things that you're trying to avoid, things like moles, things like, everything that they've been introducing to the game. So my guess is you got stuff coming at you and you have to avoid it. But in Bangkok, which is cool. For city tours, it's nice to see them coming more frequently. I'm still waiting for the day that they release all of them intermixed with some of these courses. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to race Dino Jungle in ranked. But again, it's fond memories. I'm happy to be doing it. But I'd love to see cities intermixed with all the other tracks there. And another one is you see Boatwood Thai. So again, Thailand is Bangkok's the largest city there in Thailand, so that makes a lot of sense. So get excited. Now, I do want to temper some expectations, but I also want to let you guys know. So there was a while ago that we found a badge that said Amsterdam. We got really hyped. But there wasn't this level of actual code that said anything about Amsterdam. It was just simply a badge. And, maybe they were trying to throw us off. I mean, I've realized now that Nintendo just seems to be toying with us a little bit more than they were at the very beginning. So this is code. This is in there. This is in there in the same way that the jumping off, bamboo jump boost, or jump off like some of the challenges and stuff. This is like the same code that's in there that we found bamboo. So my guess is this is our next city track. That's my prediction. But at the same point in time, who knows? Maybe they could take it out of the game. And I do want to describe something I mentioned in a couple rundowns ago. We found the special leaf that might lead to a Tanuki sighting. Apparently that leaf was removed from the data mining. So it's kind of odd that they put it in and removed it. Maybe just to get us excited. But again, those are images. Those are sprites, as they call it. This is actual code. So that's why I feel just a little bit more secure that this is going to be a part of the game and perhaps our next city. As for who got buffed, man, this list has seen better days just in sheer quantity. However, it has not seen better days in giving love to our man, King Babam Gold. That's right. You probably have him because he was a spotlight in a 50 pipe. You probably took him to 6 because that's what basically everyone did. I doubled down. I ended up taking him to 7. And then he's my first driver that I've triple capped. Because to me, I think about it in like a poker analogy, right? If you have, if you're seeing like on a flop, and again, you may not know poker, so that's okay. Just maybe I'll keep it pretty light. So let's say on a flop, you see see a pair. Let's say a pair of aces, and you're holding an ace. You're thinking to yourself, "Oh my gosh, I've won!" And you go all in, and you find out somebody else had an ace and a 2, and there was a 2 laying down there, and so they have a full house, and you have a 3 of a kind. They beat you, and you got excited, and they crushed you. It's kind of like that. I'm trying to get this full house. I'm trying to take King Bob-omb to the max, and knowing that he's going to continue seeing buffs more than any other coin box driver, and I'm going to have an advantage over somebody who feels like they already have an advantage. So that's my meta level strategy. Feel free to, I mean, you may not have tickets this week, and you might not want to use it next week, but just keep that in the back of your mind. These are kind of strategies that you have to kind of try to outsmart, outplay some of your competitors. But he's got 4 new freaking tracks, including Airship Fortress T, which did not have a coin box driver. That is massive. When we talk about, when I mentioned like where do you put your tickets? So you put it on King Bob-omb Gold or Ninja Shy Guy, and I specifically mentioned Gold King Bob-omb would probably be your best bet, especially for me who doesn't like to spend a lot of time looking for that boombox. But also, I think from that perspective, everyone's going to have them, and Nintendo wants everyone to be happy. They don't want us griping on every video. They don't want us griping to our friends or on Discord or quit the game. So they do want us to use our fresh, shiny new toy, and they've done it in a very, very kind fashion by giving them 4 new tracks, including Calamari Desert 2T, which I think I'm trying to remember if it was R or T, but one of them had Dixie as well. So unfortunately, Dixie, even though they put her in a pack, have basically crapped on her head. So it's unfortunate, but that's the game. Everyone else new in the game, it seems like, has gotten a nice little buff here. Baby Koala had a nice Dino Jungle and the R version additions there. Mario Racing, which seems so long ago we were hyped about him. Heck, we would have taken him in this tour and gotten excited about him. That White Yoshi, actually, that White Yoshi and that Rombi Runner would be a pretty cool combo. I'll have to see. Certainly. Hopefully, those pictures are being sent around the internet, and we can check that out. Shy Guy Ninja did get 2 tracks: Airship Fortress R, and then Bowser's Castle 2. So not a lot of great value there, and I believe those both have coin box drivers. And then Green Shy Guy, he got 2 new tracks, but nothing too crazy to write home about with Dino Jungle T. You're probably not using them for that. Or even really the Blue Yoshi with getting that the R version there, and then Birdo Black getting Waluigi Pinball RT. Probably not using her, probably not buffing her, but man, if you take anything from this slide, it is King Bob-omb Gold. New coin box drivers are going to be king. If you can use your tickets on anybody, he's your guy, and Nintendo wants you to use them and be excited about using them. As for the carts, we have Crimson Hot Rod, Jet Cruiser, and the Sakura Quickshaw all getting 3 new tracks. This Crimson Hot Rod already at 14. I like that. It looks awesome. It was a part of one of those paid banners. So a lot of people might have it. I mean, really any of those banners seem to be pretty good. It'd be nice. It's going to be interesting to see what happens between him and the Jade version, who got 2 tracks added, and he's up to 11. He or she, I guess I shouldn't have asked. Should ask the pronouns there. But 11 tracks for that Jade Hop Rod. 1 city for that as well. The B-Dasher Mark 12 is now up to 15 tracks, 1 city. Blue Royale, it's got 6 cute little tracks there, 1 city. Orange Streamliner, you probably maybe had to use tickets on this last tour. I did everything I possibly could to avoid it, just because it came out at the same time as Decal. But if you had to give the early win to one over the other, it might be the Orange Streamliner. But anything can happen. There's only 11 tracks there, but the downside to that is 5 cities already. So basically a third of both of these Streamliners' value is tied up into cities, which is extremely unfortunate. But hey, you really couldn't beat the Kart, the high-end value for that pipe, especially getting new items. So we'll see what happens with this. Still too early to tell. Same with the White Turbo Yoshi. It's too early to tell, but 12 tracks there. As for the karts, they got one new buff. Nice to see Iron Cucumber and Purple Bunny get one new one, but Black Turbo Birdo, 14 tracks, 1 city, and then Cucumber. Actually, the Cucumber is pretty sneaky there. 12 tracks for a super kart, 1 city in addition. I think that's so I've already maxed out my karts and my daily selects, so I'm starting to collect these tickets from Gold Pass. I think I'm going to take my Cucumber up. I think that might be the way to go. Especially getting a lot of the tracks it's been getting has been newer stuff, which is nice. So pointing that out there. I like the Purple Bunny. I ended up taking that to 5 last tour for the Sydney T, and I debated so long. It's got a lot of Donut Plains tracks, but there's the coveted potential that it can be tied to Nabbit. I think a lot of people are excited about that. But I don't know if it'll happen. I mean, Nabbit's already gotten so many buffs. I wonder if he is like Party Time Lakitu is going to start to slowly fall down the list a little bit and be forgotten. So I mean, you don't see a lot of tie between the Purple Bunny, even though Nabbit is literally a Purple Bunny. There's always a little dream out there. And then the official city kart of all city karts, the Iron Cucumber, already 12 tracks, 8 cities. So geez, that's crazy. 40% of its value is in cities. That's nuts. As for gliders, not much to review here. Surfmaster, though, got 4, which is a lot for a new glider. And because the fact that it was in that challenge, that premium challenge, I do feel like they're going to continue to buff this. And it's going to be probably worth, if you have to throw a ticket on it, don't regret it. Go for it. I think it'll continue to be valuable. Because, again, things that Nintendo wants to reward people that got things through them, or have the more things that people have, Nintendo does want to reward them to a certain extent. And we've seen that with the Pink Wing here recently. We've seen that some of these different items that we've gotten for free or part of Gold Pass, etc. Now the 8-bit Fire Flower and the Starry Great Sale still got good buffs though. That 8-bit Fire Flower has been coming in pretty clutch here. It's up to 13 tracks, 4 cities. Starry Great Sale, still early to tell. It's got 8 tracks plus 3 cities. Ninja Scroll up to 12, okay, and 2 cities there. And then the Bright Balloons up to 14. So we'll hopefully see a little bit more buffs there. As for the top 10, again, if you're going to be looking at your own inventory, definitely check out Bam and Gerbs. I'm going to keep saying it wrong probably for the rest of my life. Bam and Gerbs list, definitely check that out for your own personal inventory. Now, I will say the majority of items that are on the majority of a lot of people's Bam and Gerbs spreadsheet are also going to be on our top 10. Essentially, Tabor has done the algorithm to basically take into consideration skill, involvement in ranked, and also the value or the course coverage value, weighted value, and just regular course coverage. Taken all of those and smashed them into what I believe is the best algorithm to understand overall what are going to be the best for the broadest of broad brushes of top items. And so from that perspective, let's jump right into it. 4 drivers: Nabbit, Dry Bones, Peach Wedding, and Lakitu Party Time. No changes there. They seem to be pretty well established in their spots. They're probably even setting up some cozy little trinkets on their desks and getting very acclimated with their spot there on the list. And honestly, I don't see much changing there until they give Lakitu Party Time some more buffs. He's probably gonna stick there at 4. He might fall down to 5, but I think he's probably gonna be staying in our top 5 for a long period of time. We'll see what happens with Peach Wedding. She's still a fan favorite, and Dry Bones Gold, still near and dear to my heart. And then my man Nabbit. Nabbit is king right now. He is crushing it, and now he's a part of Ranked this week, and I continue to see him being the #1 driver for quite some time. Now below 5, we got King Boo Gold hopping up 3 spots to number 5 on our list. But even those 3 spots are quickly overshadowed by 14 spots for King Bob-omb Gold. Now, I have to describe what's going on here. 14 is a huge jump. But basically, since he's been released, he's been a part of ranked at an extremely high percentage. Now, so if you remember Tabor's spreadsheet, or Tabor's algorithm, one of the categories is number of times in ranked, and another part is percentage in ranked. Now, the percentage in ranked is so high, it is completely destroying what is a weak number for it, which is the total number of ranked. Obviously, being a new driver, it's in ranked less than many other drivers, but it's already been in ranked now over the last 3 tours than some items that have been around for the last 6 to 8 months. Thinking of like DK Jr. or something like that. So from that perspective, man, King Bob-omb Gold, I cannot say this enough. He is worth every ticket you put on him. Of course, you might have to pull him in another pipe at some point in time. You might regret taking him to 7, but I just cannot say. He is going to continue seeing buffs. He and King Boo Gold, we'll see who breaks into that into the top 2 or 3, but one of them I think will supplant Dry Bones Gold here in the next probably month and a half, 2 months. So look out for that. King Bob-omb is on the rise, up 14 to number 6 on our list. And then we've seen Black Yoshi, Pink Gold Peach, and Rosalina Swimwear all drop 2 spots to make room for these awesome looking coin box drivers that are relatively new and crushing it for people. And then finally at number 10 on our list, Mario Halloween. He's been surprising to be on this list, but holding it down, man. He has been sneaky good if you've had him and you've added tickets to him. And then rounding out the list, Mario Chef at 11, Peach Vacation at 12, King Bob-omb at 13, Penguin Luigi at 14, and Bowser Santa at 15. So that's our top 10 list for drivers. Now into carts. I have to grab some water. This has been a very excitable episode for me, so be patient with me. All right, so for carts, Happy Ride, still number 1. Now we got Black Dozer holding down the number 2 spot. This is phenomenal. So I ended up just triple capping it because of my needs and from taking a look at Bam and Gerb's spreadsheet. So I love that cart, and I think it will continue to stay at number 2. But everything else seems to be kind of shaken up right now. Everyone's moving up or moving down, and not just moving up one. There's pretty substantial moves. This Crawley cart, a lot of people's favorite cart, and I love it too. I have it at level 7 double uncapped, and I think it's an awesome cart. Based on the size, that hitbox. I mean, there's sometimes where you're going through that, where there's all those coins around, and you're getting like 5 or 6 versus some, like I'm thinking Head Honcho, which I'm not trying to dog too much because it is number 9 on our list, but going through itty bitty and just getting like maybe 1 or 2 coins. So Crawley cart, monster cart, a lot of people's favorite. It's one of my favorite. There are like fan clubs though of Crawley cart. I'm not at that level, but it's an awesome cart. I love mine. I use it all the time. Any ticket used on that is well. You might be putting a ticket for this tour. Go for it. Absolutely 100%. Off-roader up number 2. So this is the one of the top. You remember we had like the same top 5 for months. The only ones left remaining. Happy Ride and Off-roader. Off-roader keeps getting some involvement in ranked, whereas we haven't seen as much of that for Wild Black, definitely, and even a little bit of Rose Queen. So Off-roader of those top 5, holding it down at the number 4 spot. It did drop to number 6 last tour, but I still think it'll be a top 5 cart for quite some time. And it's wide too. It's got that awesome hitbox. I mean, it was the hitbox king before Crawley cart came into play. And actually, that's another comment I want to mention about that Romby Runner. Is it does have that nice wide hitbox. So if you have to pull on a pipe and you don't like any of those drivers in that special pipe, I mean, you might want to go in for that Romby Runner. It's definitely, especially with Mini Turbo, a lot of people like Mini Turbo. Definitely one worth going in for, even if it has to be that one. I just hate if it's at the bottom, and I know Marco went through that experience. Fast Frank, down 2 spots. So we saw him. He's been all over the place. I think he's literally been in every single spot below 5. But it is what it is. I mean, it's an awesome looking cart, and Nintendo likes to reward awesome looking carts. I'm still wondering what the reskin of that's going to be. If you think feel free to comment. Maybe it just has sauerkraut on it. I don't know. So Rose Queen did bump up one spot up to number 6, and then Wild Black fell 3 to number 7. Again, both of those carts have seen better days, but still, I think they're both going to remain top 10 carts for probably the next 3 months or so. Probably to the end of the anniversary. And then we'll probably see, you know, it's involved in ranked, but probably not getting a lot of new buffs. Gilded King, still my favorite cart. This is my favorite cart. Although it's not as valuable to me as the Black Dozer, that's okay. It's black and yellow. You know how I feel about that. Head Honcho, another black and yellow cart. But just based on the hitbox, I'm not as big of a fan. Up 5 spots, so there's a whole fan club, though, of Head Honchos. You guys enjoy your parade. Do that over there. Don't get me involved. I'm not a Head Honcho fan, but that's okay. It's up 5 spots, so it's back in the top 10. It used to be a big top 10, and again, not super high, but like 8, 9, 10. It was in that range for quite some time. Back getting cozy. We'll see how long it stays on here. But it's obviously, I love the look of it. I just wish it was bigger. Chaka Macaroon down 1 spot to number 10, a former top 5. Definitely seen better days there. Pumpkin Kart at number 11, one that we definitely saw a lot of in our top 10. Cheap Snorkel. So this is one that if you pulled it last tour, you might be enjoying that. It's up at 12. Definitely has a good number of tracks. I looked at that versus the Purple Bunny to put tickets on. It just had a lot of tracks that had other carts there. For Dino Dino Jungle though, maybe it's helping you out for all cup ranking. Gold Cheap Charger, love this cart. It's seen better days though too. Unfortunately, we'll see what happens. Maybe this summer, maybe with some more summer or seasonal related tracks, maybe get some more love. Blue Soda 14 and Sweet Day Tripper. Really, these last 3 have been on our top 10 a couple times. So the new ones though to this list that seem to do pretty well: Crawley Cart, Bash Frank, Black Dozer for sure, Gilded King. Those are really the ones that seem to be enjoying some love here recently. And finally for our top 10, the gliders, Dragon Wings, the dominated king of gliders at number 1 for pretty much 64 weeks in a row. It has been a monster glider. Craziness. But talking about craziness, Sunset Balloons at number 2. Do you think it can be the glider that upsets this Dragon Wings? Comment if you think so. I'm skeptical. I don't know. I don't think it can. But I think 2 is its peak. I think that's my belief. I want it to do well because it is so beautiful. It's so awesome looking. But I think 2 is its max. It moved up 2 spots. We'll see what happens. Gold Crane, though, still arguably the best coin glider to number 3 on our list. Dry Browser Umbrella, what I believe will be the one glider that overseats the Dragon Wings, up 1 spot to 4. Its climb has been much more gradual. The Sunset Balloons has climbed very fast, almost staggeringly fast. So I think the Dry Browser Umbrella is probably the better if you had to kind of pick between the 2. And Super Mario Kart glider, I've never used this glider, but it's been on this top 10 for a long time, and it continues to go up. It's gone down a couple times, but it's been there too. A solid glider, I believe, and I think it's going to continue there. Strawberry Donut down 3. It's seen much better days. The former number 2 for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. Gold Glider down 1. Number 8. I have to apologize. I didn't see this coming. Calico Parafoil. I did not see this coming, and I owe you an apology. I should have warned you. But it is up 2 spots. Number 8 on our list. No idea. Literally did not even cross my mind until this tour. So I missed that. I apologize, guys. If you're big fans, feel free to comment as well, and let me know you told me. I apologize. I missed that. But it is what it is. I mean, who knows? Maybe it falls outside of our top 10. Kind of hope it does, so I don't have to keep apologizing every time I review it on this list. But Gold Swooper down 1 spot to number 9. And then Nabbit Oil Paper Umbrella up 2 spots to number 10 again. It was in our top 10 a couple weeks ago. Starshoot at 11. Royal Parachute at 12. Chocolate Banana Crepe at 13. Silver Starshoot. I love the Silver Starshoot. At 14. We'll see what happens with that. And then 8-Bit Star, another one I love, at 15. I really hope they get back into the top 10. I really do. I'm skeptical though. I don't think they will. All right, guys, that's the top 10. Now for all cup ranking MVPs, and the MVP of this tour, hands down, Peach Explorer. Okay, 11 tracks. Peach Explorer. I'm still wrapping my head around this. Has 11 tracks. We haven't had, except for like brand new items that were released and have like these, 2 regular, 2 reverse, 2 trick, and then this and that. This is incredible. She has 11 tracks where she has top shelf in this all cup ranking. So monster there. As I mentioned specifically, I had to get that out of the way because that is still blowing my mind. Now for me, what I like about tours, I like the special pipes, and this one's above average. But all cup ranking. This is the number one reason why this tour is actually one I'm looking forward to grinding the all cup ranking. These are such fun tracks. I think we have like 26 tracks with Coinbox drivers. We have so many fun tracks. We have, Dino Jungle, Maple, Treeway, Airship Fortress. These are some of my favorite tracks. And so for all cup ranking, this is one I'm actually going to be really having a lot of fun. These are like we're talking 8 item box type of tracks. These are fun tracks. You're going to be triple frenzying. You're going to have so much fun. So if you are grinding all cup ranking, this is something to look forward to. Yes, it does not have any new tracks, but that's okay. You have great coverage. You have level 6, level 7 things on everything. This might even be your chance. You might even want to think about this might be your one time to go for top 100. Or for some for top 1,000. Just want to point that out there. Cat Peach at 9. King Bob Gold has 8. And then you have 6 drivers with 7. You have Koopa King, the Inferno Flyer, and the Romby Runner, all with 9 for the Karts. You have for 8, you have the Carp Kart, Black Dozer, Holiday King. You have the Gilded King, the Dark Buggy, Cat Cruiser, and the Brown Off-Roader, all with 7 tracks for all cup ranking. Finally, the gliders. You have the 8-bit Bullet Bill, the brand new one, as well as also the other brand new one, the Black Toe Bean Balloons. Yes, that's a lot. That's a tongue twister there. And then you have 2 with 8 tracks. You have the Black Great Sail. I love the Black Great Sail. Butterfly Wings. And then you have 3 gliders with 7 tracks. You have the Manta Glider, the regular Toe Bean Balloons, and then the Calico Parafoil, which again, it's one that I totally missed. So from that perspective, though, those are the all cup ranking MVPs. Those are the top number of top shelf tracks this tour. And then finally getting into some of the items that you get unlocked at level 3 and level 6. I like being able to talk about this because it might help you plan over the 2 weeks in where to put tickets, not just for this week, but for next week as well. For Airship Fortress, you have Luigi Lederhosen, unlocks that at level 3, Mario Swimwear at level 6, and then Nabbit at level 7, or level 6. Definitely one you might have already had at level 6, worth definitely using on Airship Fortress. If you don't have, yeah, that's right, King Bob Gold. And then many of you are using Hammer Bro for sure. That's a super that has that track. It's good to know that. Black Turbo Birdo has it at level 3 unlocked. Cheap Snorkel has it unlocked at 6. And then Crawly Kart, you're most likely going to be using Crawly Kart unlocked at level 6. Koopa King at 6, and same with Pirate Sushi Racer. As for gliders, Butterfly Wings, Manta Glider, and Nabbit Oil Paper Umbrella. Level 6, and then Penguin Wingtip at level 3. Dino Jungle, you have Gold Koopa Free Running, Peach Explorer level 6, Toadette Explorer, and Wario Cowboy at level 3. And then for gliders, you have the Swooper at level 6 and the Minion Paper Glider at level 6 as well. And the Maple Tree Way, you got King Boo Gold unlocking at level 6, Shy Guy Gold at level 6 as well, Head Honcho at level 6, as well as Pink Wing at level 3, and 8-bit Bullet Bill 3, and Toe Bean Balloons at level 3. And finally, for Funky Kong Cup, we got a lot of unlocks as well. Cat Peach at level 3 for the Royal Raceway R, Mario Happy, as well as Pink Gold Peach, most likely the one you're using. Unlock it at level 6. And then for the Karts, Kart and Sunset Clouds, unlock that at level 3, as well as Red Taxi at level 6. For still continuing with Royal Raceway R, we have the Jumping Mario, Hanafuda, Silver Manta Glider, both unlock it at level 3. And then the Bright Glider and the Great Sail unlock it at level 6. For Vanilla Lake 1T, you have Ice Mario and Mario SNES, unlock it at 6. You have the Festival Girl and Pirate Sushi Racer and Rose Queen and even the Wildfire Flower, all unlock it at level 6. So 4 unlocks there. Most likely you're using the Rose Queen. And then finally, for the gliders, you have Blizzard Parasoil with level 3. Cheap Cheap Masks at level 6. That's probably why you see it as in a pack. And then New Year's Kite at level 6 as well. Finally, last but not least, Donut Plains 2T, probably the newest track of all the ranked tracks. You just have the Jade Hop Rod at level 3, Inferno Flyer at level 6. You probably don't have that at level 6. And then Toe Bean Balloons at level 6. So there you go, guys. There's the rundown for the Mailed It In tour. I hope you try to find some joy, try to get some tokens. The token shop is pretty good. It's not something I really take into consideration when talking about tours, but definitely one to look at. And then finally, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I definitely want to give you these videos a lot of good information and helpful, especially for all cup ranking. So maybe we can even get it in the next week. So definitely subscribe or let your friends know to subscribe. I would really appreciate the effort. And as always, good luck, guys, especially pulling on those pipes.